Hi, I'm Len Klatt. I'm one of the co-creators and executive producers of this new sitcom that we're bringing to you here to there. And also with me is Kim Wozniak, our line producer. And we're going to tell you the story of how we got to have the talents of Melissa Archer on our show. And it goes back several years. We wanted to cast here to there for a showcase, and I happened to be watching something on YouTube, which Melissa at the time was on Days of Our Lives, and she did an interview with a soap opera reporter, and he took us all inside her dressing room, and it was loaded with I Love Lucy memorabilia. And I said, wait a minute, because of our I Love Lucy connections, I said, this is somebody that we need to start to look at, particularly for Casey Cardwell. But I also decided to tune into a couple episodes of Days of Our Lives. And Melissa was involved in a plot line that seems so crazy and ludicrous, I couldn't believe she was able to keep a straight face. Blood diamonds in South Africa. And I said, if she can pull this off, she's got the comedic chops that we want to employ. So I had conversations with Kim about this, and I said, how do we go about finding Melissa Archer? And Kim's, go ahead, pick up the story.
Well, I have IMDb Pro, so I did a little searching about Melissa and IMDb Pro. And at that time, she had quite a bit of trivia on her site, which I think she's removed some of it since then. And so we were trying to make a connection on Facebook and other social media. And so I found her fan page, but then there was something on her IMDb page that made me look a little further. That's no longer on her page now. And I found her personal page because she was under a different name at the time. So I found her fan page and I found her personal page. And I called Len back. I go, there's actually a section on her fan page that you can actually write something to her. Not every page had that. So I drafted something and I sent it to my editor, Len, to double check everything. And so then I put it up on the fan page and I called Len. I go, it's up. Let's see what happens. And within 2 hours, I got a response. I called Len. I go, oh my God, we got a response that quickly. And then Melissa sent me from her personal page a friend request. So we started communicating. And I think it was a couple weeks later, we actually had a lunch date, us three. And we met at a restaurant in West Hollywood. And I know at the time, Melissa was a few minutes late. She was texting me, I'm on my way. So we're sitting there and I was facing the door when she came in. And I said, Lynn, she's here. So we got up and we sat down. It was funny too, because she sat down and if you read body language, she's a little nervous because she was sitting forward and I'm going, okay. But then after, and Len will say the lines, I could see her relax. So took about 15, 20 minutes. But Len, go ahead and say what you said.
And one of the first things I asked Melissa in that restaurant, which no longer exists, and we've been there a couple of times, do you always accept lunch invitations from complete strangers? Because of course I insisted on having Kim around because I didn't want this to be creepy, which it could have been. And it's like we're connecting because of I Love Lucy. I mean, come on.
I was a wing person.
Exactly, a wing person. And oddly enough, so we had scheduled this lunch a couple of weeks in advance. And I was preparing the scripts that we were going to give it a read We also gave her a copy of Madeline Pugh Davis's, our friend Madeline Pugh Davis's autobiography. Thought she would enjoy that. Several days, however, prior to our luncheon, that was a year where I had a bunch of health issues. And I went through a bunch of tests. And a doctor scheduled me to have a procedure at 9 o'clock in the morning on the very same day. So I was not going to, the doctor would not let me cancel the procedure, nor was Len going to cancel the luncheon. So literally, and it was an hour-long procedure where they pump something in you to take pictures, and it gives you this warm feeling, which I don't even want to describe get any more literal about what that feeling is like. And I'm lying on this gurney with this machine around me, and I'm looking at I kept looking over at the clock on the wall, and the technician was a woman who said to me, she says, is everything okay? Are you uncomfortable? I said, no. It's like, yeah, I got a lunch today that I really want to make sure that I get to on time. And she said, oh, okay. She says, it's like a personal lunch or business lunch. She's trying to make me feel comfortable. So she's engaging me in conversation. I said, well, if you must know, and this is like shameless. I said, a friend of mine and I are in a meeting with an actress. We may want to, kind of connect with something with on a project. And she's, oh, it was like, who? And I said, well, this is a terrible thing to say. So you probably don't know her. She's been on she's been on daytime television. She said, oh, no. No, I used to watch daytime television. She said, what show was she on? I said, well, recently she was on Days of Our Lives, but for the longest time, she was on One Life to Live. Really? Who? And I said, well, and I don't know how I knew this, but I had, done, I said, I believe she played somebody named Natalie Buchanan. Well, this technician thought I was meeting God. Are you kidding me? She says, that's who you're meeting with? She's wonderful. She says, she was my favorite character on that show. And I said, well, okay, then it was another piece of the puzzle that seemed to start putting itself together right for us. And she says, let me see if I can move this, speed this process up. And she did. And I got out of there with a little time to spare, enough time to get home and change my clothes and put on a nicer outfit. And lo and behold, we handed you the scripts. We had a nice lunch. You didn't feel uncomfortable, and you were going out of town that night too. Kim remembers that.
Yeah, your sister was graduating.
Oh,
yeah, your sister was graduating, and then I think I was just saying to Len, I think you were going to the soap opera fest down in Florida right after that, and then you're going to be back. Mm-hmm. So, because we did a little debrief after Len and I talked afterwards, and Len goes, "Gosh, we haven't heard from her yet." And then you send me a text saying, "Oh, I'm still in Florida. I'll reach out to you when I get back." So we're like, "Oh, okay," because you mentioned you were going to see your sister, but we didn't know about the festival down in Florida after that. So
now, that story's been told several times over, but you never heard about the technician.
I did not.
Never
That's
heard
pretty
about
incredible.
He told me just about everything. It's the first time I heard about the technician.
That's
well, I didn't necessarily want to start broadcasting my medical.
You don't want to lead with that.
By the way, everything worked out fine, and what they found was nothing. But that's one of those little inside stories that we felt we wanted to share. And you have been with us since day one, and you're as much a part of this family as anybody.
Well, I love you guys.
Okay. Oh, we need to put that in.
It's the big word.
You said the L word, Kim.
the
She
L
said the L word.
Right back at you.